A Chromatic Lyre Musical Guide to the Byzantine Musical System using Western Musical Notation. To work with this Chromatic Lyre Musical Guide, please access the reference document written by Stanley J. Takis in the description area of this video entitled Beginning to Learn the Byzantine Musical System Using Western Notation and Theory. This presentation will refer to page numbers in this document. Introduction. Historically, the canons of the Greek Orthodox Church do not forbid the use of musical instruments in the church. However, by tradition, musical instruments are not used. If a musical instrument is used, the instrument of choice is the organ, and other instruments may be used with proper permission and adherence to specific guidelines according to the archdiocese. The use of instruments should support the singing and enhance the worship experience without overshadowing the vocal elements. In summary, canon law allows for a variety of instruments in the liturgy, provided they are used appropriately. In learning the chromatic lyre harp, I became acquainted with the fact that one could adjust the tone of the relative sharp or flat string to what is called a microtone of various degrees. The relative sharp or flat other instrument may play are called a semitone, and that cannot be tuned any finer. Uniquely, the chromatic lyre harp can be microtuned. Since Byzantine music is microtonal, this makes the chromatic lyre harp a perfect practice companion for the aspiring chanter. One may not want to use the lyre harp in church, but it can help the chanter learn the proper sound of the microtones. That said, a series of Byzantine church music will be played using the chromatic lyre harp. The top two images to the left show how the chanters in the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese in America transcribe the Byzantine notation of the church music, first image, into Western music notation, second image. So singers who read only Western music notation may chant Byzantine style in both Greek and English. There is a linked document in the description of this video to a publication written by Stanley J. Takis. Please refer to page 5 of that document as I continue. The purpose of this video is not to teach Byzantine chant music in its entirety, but to explore the use of the chromatic lyre in helping to learn the correct sound of the notes as they are used in Byzantine church hymnody. To further explain, Byzantine music consists of 8 modes, also called tones, and each of those 8 tones can have 3 different rhythmic styles. Rhythmic styles can be arythmologic, that is short, quick, and usually one syllable per note. Most hymns in the Orthodox Church use this rhythmic style. They can also be sticharic rhythm, which features 2 or more notes over many syllables. The Pavadikic rhythm, which is very slow and vocally ornamented, is also used. I use the words vocally ornamented. Please keep in mind that chanting in church is not a performance. It is prayer. The chanters' voices are combined with the priest's voice offering prayers to the Lord. Chanting is done in a prayerful and humble way. Although it helps if a chanter has a good voice, it really isn't necessary. The chanter just has to understand how the service goes and respond humbly and prayerfully with the ascribed hymns for the service in response to the priest's petitions. The priest is always the leader of the service, not the chanter. The chanter should discuss how the service will proceed with the priest well before the service and practice beforehand. One does not practice on the cantor stand. One comes prepared. Also remember, chanters are not ordained clergy, they are lay persons, and do not correct the priest during the service. If anything seems incorrect during the service, the chanter can approach the priest humbly afterwards and talk about it privately, but never during a service. The first tone we will talk about is tone mode 1, Byzantine diatonic, used for all quick hymns. In Byzantine diatonic, E and B are sung a little bit flatter than the normal semitone of E flat or B flat. This, however, is accomplished on the chromatic lyre by using an electronic tuner and micro-tuning the E and B to about 1/2 of the typical semitone for E flat or B flat on a keyboard or standard levered harp. Also, in Byzantine diatonic, the music will typically ascend through a natural B, then descend through a microtuned B flat. Scale. Correlating the Byzantine scale with the Western music scale using the natural pitch of a voice. No instrumental accompaniment. Your Western music scale is C4, D4, E4, F4, G4, A4, B4, C5. And it could sound like that. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Your solfege equivalent is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And it goes do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Your Byzantine equivalent to this is ni, pa, bu, ga, di, ke, zo, ni. Ni, pa, bu, ga, di, ke, zo, ni. In singing without instrument accompaniment, that is a cappella. Another major difference is that in the Byzantine scale, ni, that is C4, which is middle C, or do, can be anywhere. It is not a fixed sound like in an instrument. It is wherever the leader starts the ni, that is the C4, the do. If a chanting team wants to harmonize, the starting tone is wherever the leader ends. In church, the leader is the priest. So if chanters want to chant in harmony with the priest, where the priest placed his last pitch is where the chanters should begin. You may have noticed that when I sang the scale, the C was placed at my natural voice's pitch, not at an instrumental pitch, and this is correct. A chanter should always use their natural voice's pitch, not an instrumental pitch. Of course, this only applies for a cappella singing. For those communities that use an organ, this instruction is not applicable. Before I play tone 1, I do want to say that if you do not read any kind of music and you want to chant, take the time to learn to read either Byzantine music notation or Western musical notation. Just following what the previous chanter sang is not sufficient. The previous chanter could have been singing in a different mode. Learn to read some kind of music. Also, following the service and knowing what to sing when is so much easier now than it was years ago. The Greek Orthodox Archdiocese implemented DCS, that is, Digital Chant Stand. If you have an iPad or phone, you can access every single service and know exactly what you will need to sing. The order of the services have full musical scores for every single service in both Byzantine music notation and Western music notation. This is an invaluable resource. The link is provided in the description section of this video. God bless you, and may the peace of Christ be with you. Tone 1, Byzantine Diatonic.